Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Derek Branch of Strike7Sports.com. I just want to talk about today's video. This is a vlog, pretty much a version of the video version of the Strike7Sports.com 2021 NFL Draft, and that is the picks 1 through 10. This is the first mock draft that I have done this year, and it will be the only one. I don't have the staff or the time to have numerous mock drafts like I've seen other big outlets do. Mock draft 1, mock draft 2.0, 3.5, 718, 414. Nah, we're not doing all that. Yeah, Strike 7 Sports. Not knocking those guys' hustle because it's a good business model, and draft is pretty much a time when a lot of outlets get a lot of views, a lot of engagement. But I just don't have the personnel to have those type of mock drafts. I'm not the type of person that is like deep into it, but I'm very knowledgeable in the draft. But I don't go to the extent to where I'm having to follow 4 and 5 mock drafts. But this is my first one and the only one for this year. Wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Have fun doing it. I'm not trying to be out here all deep, taking stuff serious because it ain't. I just laugh. If I get them wrong, I get them wrong. I get them right, I get them right. But anyways, man, I'm gonna start this off by we just might read the analysis of the Strike Seven Sports website. These picks and their strengths and all that, and then I'll go to the next player and do the same. Okay. The draft is on April 30th through I believe May 2nd. April 30th through May 2nd through Saturday. Thursday through Saturday. So it starts this Thursday on ESPN, NFL Network, all the different outlets. So we'll start off with shouldn't be a shock to you right here. You know, hold on real quick. Yeah, here we go. Trevor Lawrence is our will be the first pick taken in the 2021 NFL Draft, and rightfully so. He is the number one pick in the draft. He is the acclaimed, can't miss prospect since Andrew Luck. He's pretty much his position in the draft has been set since 2 seasons ago when they put I would say 3 seasons, yeah, 3 seasons ago when they put that beat down on Alabama in the national championship game. Pretty much you can say it's been set forward since he was in high school. There was talk of Trevor Lawrence as a prospect coming out of college, coming into the college ranks and onto the pros. But I'm gonna go ahead and read his analysis on the guy on him. The hype around Trevor Lawrence being drafted in the first round started right around when he debuted as a freshman at Clemson. He has been considered by many to be the most NFL-ready prospect since Andrew Luck. And to highlight the height, Luck was considered the best NFL prospect since Peyton Manning was drafted back in 1998. In a way, in the last 23 years or so, the most NFL-ready quarterbacks were Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, and now Trevor Lawrence. And looking at Lawrence's career, you can see that even though he had some bad games overall, he led from the front, and he played well against the best and most formidable defenses, including edge rushers. We don't know how well Trevor will set into Urban Meyer's offense and take into the fact that the Jaguars were in particular 1 in 15 seasons. So yeah, that's going to be the interesting take of this whole thing is that how Trevor Lawrence will fit into Urban Meyer's system. Meyer is pretty well known to deal with quarterbacks. His system it benefits them. I've seen a lot of mobile quarterbacks work pretty well with Urban Meyer back in his days in coaching Ohio State and Florida. He had Tebow for a little bit. Um, yeah, you got Tebow for a hot minute. I want to say Cam Newton for a little bit. J.T. Barrett, Braxton Miller, 12 gauge, Cardell Jones, um, Dwayne Haskins. So I mean, it was pretty much. I don't know if he was part of the group that recruited Justin Fields from Georgia to Ohio State, but his system works. It's pretty much been pretty much successful everywhere it goes. College and in the professional ranks will be his first year in the NFL, and he'll be having a prospect to work with in Trevor Lawrence. So he's our first pick in the draft. So the next one we got Zach Wilson of the BYU. Will be going to the New York Jets. We project him to go to the New York Jets, and that's after the Jets made decide to trade Sam Darnold to Carolina, and pretty much they have a lot of assets to work with. I think it's 9 picks in this year's draft, so they trying to build it the right way. And Zach Wilson, he gonna have a based on the Jets' track record. I believe he's the quarterback that has the biggest bust potential out of all of them. Zach Wilson, man, that's due to the organization he's going into. It's not a very good organization when it comes to building a complete roster. I've said that in the past. They've been known for building the team on one side of the football, which is the defense, and pretty much they have a talented QB, but don't provide him the necessary resources to be successful. So there you have it. Zach Wilson is going to be our number 2 pick in the draft. I'm going to read up the quick analysis on him. Many Jet fans are still angry that the Jets lost a chance to tag Trevor Lawrence by winning one meaningless game in the 2020 regular season. But what can be done now? Although Zach Wilson and Mac Jones are running in close, we feel that the Jets will draft him as the second overall pick. They need a good quarterback. Zach had a great season with 33 touchdowns to 33 to 3 TD interception ratio and throwing just shy of 3,700 yards. And he ran an even better pro day. Many analysis see Wilson as an immediate starter, and he is being compared to the likes of Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Mainly due to his ability to extend plays, it's tough to predict how much better he will be with the New York Jets. The Jets have so many things that they need fixing. They need fixing in the whole offense, including offensive line, tight ends, running backs, and that are proper at the top that needs fixing. So yeah, he's going into a tough situation. Even though the Jets have made some moves to upgrade their roster by signing Corey Davis, you have I think the wide receiver Denzel Mims. Defense is pretty good. You got C.J. Mosley coming back. Marcus May. C.J. Mosley coming back from opting out of the season due to the pandemic. Marcus May's franchise tag. You have Quentin Williams on the defensive line. So you got Sheldon. You signed Sheldon Rankins from the Saints. So you got some pieces to work with, But we'll see how Zach Wilson does with the Jets. We'll see if he can overcome the losing culture of the team. If he can turn around him along with Robert Saleh, the new head coach. All right, up next we got Mac Jones. That's what we're going with. Mac Jones is the guy that we project will be going to the San Francisco 49ers as the third overall pick. A lot of people, this is the pretty much the most intriguing take of the draft, and that's Mac Jones. The decision between recently it came down to it was before that it was Mac Jones, Justin Fields, and Trey Lance. Between those 3 players, 3 quarterbacks on who was going to who was going to get selected by the San Francisco 49ers after I believe they traded with the Miami Dolphins, if I'm not mistaken, to move up in the draft. And that's the draft for quarterback. There's been many reasons why they're doing it. I'm hearing things such as, Kyle Shanahan wants to win right now. They're not all in on Jimmy Garoppolo. You ever heard? I don't know if y'all heard the statement put out by Shanahan about him not guaranteeing a Jimmy Garoppolo start spot by Sunday. So the rumor has is that Garoppolo could be moved any day now. You know, from now until up until the draft, or possibly even days after the draft, that could be a suitor for him. So we have to see how it goes. And the latest is that Fields has been eliminated from the race, and now it's between um, Mac, Mac Jones and Trey Lance. And we Strike Seven Sports. We believe it's going to be Mac Jones to become 49ers starting quarterback of the future. And we're going to read up. We're going to do this quick breakdown right here. Mac Jones being drafted by the 49ers means that they will be looking for the long-term options as their primary signal caller. 49ers don't think that Jimmy Garoppolo will be their future, which didn't seem like the case just a few months ago when the 49ers were felt to be rebuilding their franchise because of the contracts of Richard Sherman, Ahkello Witherspoon, and Jason Verrett were in last year. Still, all the significant shuffles at the quarterback position around the NFL may have made 49ers rethink their option, especially when they ended up with the third overall pick. Statistically speaking, Mac Jones is the most accurate quarterback if you compare the last 13 starts of the whole quarterback class of the 2021 draft. The accuracy, throwing short throws and long throws are in Jones' favor. Alabama has not been known to produce the best quarterbacks, which is perhaps the only thing going against Mac Jones' turn. However, Kyle Shanahan has an excellent rapport with the young quarterbacks, so maybe Mac Jones may start his professional pro football career right where he left in Alabama. Jones could fit right in the Shanahan offense. The 49ers offensive line is excellent, and they do have some good weapons in the receiving end. So Mac Jones may very well be the perfect choice for the 49ers in years to come. Years to come. Yeah, so my thing is with Mac Jones, along with the write up, is that I believe all three of those quarterbacks, whoever the 49ers decide to select in this draft this Thursday, is going to do pretty well with this pick. We do pretty well in his system. You know, it's very rare, that quarterbacks fall into the right situation like a Patrick Mahomes and have one of a top, top three or five coordinator, head coach to work with, as such as Andy Reid, a Sean Payton, and it's very rare. And I think Mac Jones is going to be in a good situation. He's going with a team that's pretty much stacked on both sides of the football with the personnel that they have. There's a lot of injuries caught up with them last season, but they'll be back next year. So they have it. We have Mac Jones at number 3. Right up next, we got Kyle Pitts from the University of Florida. We have we project that he will be selected by the Atlanta Falcons with the 4th overall pick. It was been reported that Atlanta was in the looking to trade down, find suitors for that pick, to trade down in the draft to get more picks. That may not be happening, so I think they're gonna stay put and they're gonna draft Kyle Pitts out of Florida. This is a tight end that's another can't miss prospect at his position. I've read some good things about him, some scouting reports that are pretty spot on with the guy. I've seen him play a few times, watch a lot of SEC games, and he is that dude, big time playmaker, player receiver. He's that. He has a build of a receiver, but he's a tight end. I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to move him to become a receiver. Depends on how his body continues to develop at the professional level, and he lines up opposite of Calvin Ridley. Because Julio Jones may be out the door soon after the reports came out about Atlanta possibly taking calls for with the idea of trading Julio Jones to another team. So he may be a future wide receiver, but for now he'll be a tight end. all-world talent, generational talent at that position. And Matt Ryan's going to benefit from having him. I don't know why it doesn't make sense to trade Matt Ryan while he's still performing at a high level. Just continue to build a team around him, rebuild the defense, and see what you have in Matt Ryan because it's a crapshoot with the NFL with these quarterbacks. We got a guy that's still performing on the level of Matt Ryan. It's good to keep him and retool the roster around him. Build a roster up around him. Around him as a quarterback. But anyways, I'm going to read a quick the breakdown of him from the Strike 7 Sports website. Even though Matt Ryan played well in the 2020 season and their wide receivers performed well, the Falcons' overall offense was not that great. They need to have excellent running back and a great tight end, and it's the correct time for the Falcons to rethink their plans and to take into account the best possible situation. General Manager Terry Fontenot and Coach Arthur Smith do have long-term goals, and there's nothing better at the number 4 position for the Falcons than Kyle Pitts. At 6'6", Pitts has the size, speed, traits to line up wide in the slot, or next to an offensive tackle. And he showed off his ability after the catch by averaging 17.9 yards per reception with 12 touchdowns. Pitts is not in the traditional tight end, but he's a skilled offensive threat. Kyle Pitts can also block well, and he will be a good asset for the Falcons in the long run. I agree. That's how it's going to be. I just think that's the route they're going to take. They're going to take Kyle Pitts with this 4 pick in the draft. We'll take a quick break. All right, so we're back, and the following pick we have the Cincinnati Bengals at number 5, taking Penei Sewell out of Oregon. All right, so we know the Bengals are known to make bad decisions when it comes to building personnel, but they cannot be that stupid to pass up on Penei Sewell and go ahead and select a wide receiver to have Joe Burrow, option for Joe Burrow. It's better if they take Penei Sewell, build up the offensive line, provide Joe Burrow some protection, so build it up that way, and then look for a wide receiver. Wide receiver may not be on the level of a JaMarr Chase, but you probably could still find a serviceable wide receiver in the second round of the draft, and that Joe Burrow is that good, is so great distributing the football, it might not even matter if they have JaMarr Chase on their roster. So that's something to think about. I just think he would be a good candidate for the Bengals to shore up their offensive line, give Joe Burrow some protection, and continue to build a team going forward. But here's the write-up I did of Penei Sewell. Like, no one is having second thoughts about Trevor Lawrence being picked by the Jaguars. Similarly, there is no doubt that the Bengals will draft Penei Sewell. Joe Burrow was pressured a lot in the 2020 season. Despite being pressured, Burrow's performance was good, and when given the time in the pocket, Burrow made some tremendous and calculated throws. Hence, it's all about protecting Burrow, who is still recovering from the torn ACL and MCL he suffered in November. Sewell also won the Outland Trophy in 2019, and he is the best offensive tackle in the 2021 draft class. Bengals also need good wide receivers, but the offensive line should be their main priority. Penei Sewell fits the Bengals team. All right, next we have JaMarr Chase out of LSU, who will be going to we project him to go to the Miami Dolphins with the 6th overall pick. And it makes sense the Dolphins go this route, give Tua Tagovailoa a viable option to work within the passing game. I believe this can work. The Dolphins are a young and upcoming team. You got Brian Flores, who's I think is going to be an A+ head coach, a slam dunk hire for what the Dolphins did back a few years ago when he brought him onto the team. I think it's going to work. I think Brian Flores, has learned enough from the tutelage of Bill Belichick, and I think the Dolphins are going to be a team to deal with in the future, along with the Buffalo Bills. It is not going to be the AFC East of previous years where it was just New England and then everybody else. It's going to be a very competitive division, and the selection of JaMarr Chase confirms that. So I'm gonna read the quick little write up on JaMarr Chase. You know, if Dolphins if the Dolphins don't trade their sixth overall pick by the time they choose to draft a player, then there is no better choice for them than JaMarr Chase. Chase opted out due to COVID-19 in the 2020 season, and if it weren't for the NCAA rules, he would have been a top 10 draft pick in 2020 NFL draft. Chase's 2019 season was nothing short of perfect. He scored 20 touchdowns and had 84 receptions for 1,780 yards, breaking multiple records. He could be a great fit for Miami since it looks like the Dolphins will give Tua another chance, and that has to happen, and if that has to happen, then Tua must have good offensive weapons. No one can really say what kind of receiver JaMarr Chase would be, but in 2001 class of wide receivers, Chase is the best option. So I would say he is a slightly shorter version of Michael Thomas, but with speed. He's that good, and I watched him play throughout to his time at LSU. I know him firsthand, well, not firsthand, but I know what he can do for his hand. But the Dolphins will go with JaMarr Chase. All right, next. This is the big one. This is everybody want to know how far Justin Fields dropped. Well, Strike Seven Sports, I believe that he was gonna stop. He's gonna drop to number 7. It will be selected by the New England Patriots. Yeah, I said it. The New England Patriots will move up with a trade with the Detroit Lions and take the 7th spot and will draft Justin Fields. I believe that Fields was the second, at certain aspects, I felt like he was better than Trevor Lawrence. I like a lot of things that Justin Fields can do. Accurate, can throw the football down the field. 6'3", got good size on him, run a good, 440. Now, not saying that I'm a big 40 time guy, but 40 time is good for a quarterback. Um, Pretty accurate in the pocket. Tough guy, played through those. I think he suffered some real rib injury in the semi-final round of the national college football playoffs this season. So he's a tough guy, and I like what he can do. I like the fact that he can throw on the run, get out of the pocket, make plays. Leadership traits are there, and I just don't know why he's falling. Why these reports coming out? It's these type of things come out every year for the draft, around the draft time, but with certain players that this came out, and he has this character issue. He had these tweets from the past, all this other stuff. Look, man, it's ugly. It's the draft, and sometimes they do these things to get teams to get players to fall down so they could go to this certain situation, or this scout leaks this so this could happen. It's just all a bunch of mess, man. But I think he goes to New England, and he is the projected quarterback of the future for the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. He'll be working with Cam Newton, and it'll be an interesting situation. But I have Justin Fields going to the New England Patriots as the 7th overall pick. Let me take a quick break. Get some water. All right, next we have the 8th overall pick, and that's going to the Carolina Panthers. And we have Rashaan Slater going of Northwestern, going to the Carolina Panthers. And the Panthers need protection for their quarterback, who they traded for from the New York Jets, and Sam Darnold. And I mean, I think a lot of people still don't understand the importance of having offensive linemen, of having a capable offensive line that can protect the quarterback at all times. This is the biggest reasons why Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. They had to rebuild his offensive line. You know, going into this off season, but the success he's achieved over the years, past 2 to 3 years, was because of his offensive line. A lot of fans, they do the hard work, and fans aren't really. It's not really a glamourful, glorified position, but it's one of the important positions in the NFL. Offensive line protects the quarter. It's important, you know. You see Russell Wilson, always running for his life. They're trying to address that situation up there. Is the number one reason why Andrew Luck of the Indianapolis Colts decided to retire, and that was because he had a bad offensive line. And um, Sam Darnold was running for his life with the Jets, or with Adam Gase. So it's another situation here. So offensive lineman would be the ideal situation, the ideal pick for this Carolina Panthers team. And we'll just pull up the quick write up of Rashaan Slater. Now that the quarterback position at Carolina has been settled with Sam Darnold and Teddy Bridgewater competing for the starting job in the upcoming season, the Carolina Panthers must select an offensive tackle. Rashaan Slater is going to be a perfect fit at Carolina. He can play at the side as well as inside guard. Although Rashaan opted out in 2020 due to COVID-19, he didn't allow a single sack in the 2019 season as a starter at Northwestern. Rashaan can be an excellent fit for Matt Rule's offense and can help protect Bridgewater and Darnold, either or. And I agree. That's what I wrote. This is a cornerstone of your team, and going forward, it's better to have Sam Darnold starting off on a positive note, and a positive note could be and that positive note is by having a good offensive line. So I believe that Rashaan Slater fits that mold. All right, next we got Trey Lance, another quarterback. This is the fifth. Let me see. Yes, this will be the fifth and final quarterback taken in the first round of the NFL draft, according to me, Strike Seven Sports. It'll be the final quarterback out of the top five that's taken. He'll be the last one that's taken out of the top five. So we have him going to the Denver Broncos to be their quarterback of the future. If not, they are not satisfied with the production of Drew Lock, who I met, by the way, before I interviewed when he was down in Memphis a while in 2018 at the Liberty Bowl. I met, asked him a quick question. When I saw him play in college, I thought he was going to be a good quarterback, and then his stock fell for whatever reason, and I would see why. His stock fell to him. He became a second round pick. And Denver thought they could have. He has a good arm and all, but he's not. It's not panning out. He's bad at decision making. He's not good with decisions, and Denver's ready to move on. So we have Trey Lance going to the Denver Broncos as their quarterback of the future. Now, the thing about Trey Lance is I don't know a whole lot about him. I've only seen the footage of him last year, some highlights of him, footage, and scouting reports here and there. And it's a very lot of unknown factors with him. But according to a lot of draft experts, he has the biggest upside outside of Trevor Lawrence, and feels he has the biggest upsides out of all the quarterbacks in this year's draft. and they feel that way because of his ability. I've seen him play, watched some of the footage. He has some Mahomes like abilities. Can run, may passes on the run. He can do a couple things with the football. So we it'll be interesting to see what Denver does going forward with Trey Lance. I don't believe Vic Fangio is gonna be around to see this guy truly blossom. I think it'll be another head coach that will come in and build around Trey Lance. Hopefully, there's not one of those coaches where they want to bring in their guy and all this other stuff. That's going to really mess things up. But I believe it's going to be Trey Lance as the Denver Broncos quarterback of the future. All right, next final pick, we got Patrick Surtain II out of the University of Alabama, who we have projected that he will go to the Dallas Cowboys, and rightfully so. Now, I know a little bit about Patrick Surtain II. I know his father. I'm showing my age here, but I remember his father playing defensive back for the Miami Dolphins. I believe it was Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain. They were a duo, a tandem, one of the best secondaries in the NFL at the time. Is Sam Madison, Patrick Surtain. So, I'm going to get my dry again. They get Patrick Surtain with this pick, and the Cowboys need help on defense. There are some talks at the beginning of leading up into the hype of the draft about Dallas probably moving up to, well, not moving up, but having interest in taking Kyle Pitts, and to add to their already, potent offense. They don't need that. I mean, they're pretty much dangerous without Kyle Pitts. Without Kyle Pitts in the offense, that's what happened last year when they drafted C.D. Lamb out of Oklahoma. They didn't really need him when they already had a solid receiving core already, and it cost them, some players, good players on defense in last year's draft, and they suffered for it. And plus, on top of that, they lost Dak Prescott for the rest of the year, and it pretty much, went downhill. And they still had a chance to win that division, but without Dak Prescott's presence, they couldn't get it done. Defense wasn't good enough to keep them in games. So that should be a lesson learned for this team. Have guys such as Patrick Surtain, who's a pretty good size for a corner, 6'2", pretty shut down. Pretty was a successful corner working with Nick Saban, and that's the thing about Alabama and Nick Saban. He knows how to get the best out of defensive backs. That seemed to be his area of expertise. A lot of defensive backs come out of Alabama ready to perform at professional level. Not all of them, but he's worked with some good defensive backs. And Patrick Surtain II is going to be a star with the Cowboys, and the Cowboys need him. They need somebody in that secondary to, to build around, help out with that defense that's not pretty good, not that good right now. They have a new defensive coordinator coming in with Dan Quinn, who worked with Richard Sherman, the Legion of Boom in Seattle. So he fits that mold. He fits that that those big corners, that big cornerback prototype that they like that they use in Seattle, where Dan Quinn was the DC. So that might get added to here with the Cowboys. But anyways, man, that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. Do you think Mac Jones the 49ers going to take Mac Jones, or do you think they'll take Trey Lance or Justin Fields in this year's draft? Do you think what are some scenarios that you believe that could happen in this year's draft? Do you like the mock draft I did? Do you think it sucks? Do you think I'm going to be way off? Who knows, man? Just let me know how you feel, man. Also, and please subscribe to the channel. And also check out strike7sports.com/Saints. Not my bad. Get tongue tied. Check out strike7sports.com for latest content on the NFL. It's description. The link is in the description box below. We also cover the NBA, Saints, local team, Memphis Tigers and the Saints, basketball. And just continue to support us, man. We're probably gonna go up onto the upload this episode to the podcast, and we'll just get ready for the draft and probably do a reaction on the night of the draft. So that's all I have for y'all for right now. Have a blessed day. Peace.